Hello, hello, hello! Today we're finally going to talk Marvel after I obviously asked everyone for their top 10 films and top 5 moments. I got a lot sent in as really good choices, so I don't want to spend too long talking about it, so I'm going to do mine first, and then I'm going to jump into some people who sent me theirs. So I'm going to start with my top 10 and top 5, and then we'll go from there. So, number 10 for me is Doctor Strange. It's just a really good film, really great visuals in it. Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing in it, and it's just pretty simple, really. I actually really like that one. Number 9 is Iron Man, the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was a great film when it released, and it still holds up well to this day. Great starting point and a fun one to rewatch after all these years. I really enjoyed that one. I watched that recently actually and really enjoyed that one. Number 8 is Captain America the First Avenger. The start of the Captain America trilogy, personal favourite of mine, really enjoy watching it. It might not be for everyone, but I love the origin of Steve Rogers. It's a great place for that trilogy to start, that's the one. Coming in at number 7 is Thor Ragnarok. Fun story. When I first saw it in the cinema, I hated it. It was just so jarring, it was a comedy instead of the action films we'd already been seeing. It was just so different. But on every rewatch, which is about like 8 times at this point, it just seems to get so much better, and it's absolutely hilarious. And the action scenes are done really, really well. Plus, it was the introduction for Jeff Goldblum into the MCU, and that was just wonderful because he's great. Number 6 is Avengers Assemble. Let's go back 8 years. It's 2012. We walk out the cinema and we've just seen the biggest cinematic event so far. I saw it so many times in the cinema, and every time I saw it, it was just so good. I kept getting goosebumps throughout. It was just that incredible moment where they're all together and the camera's panning around and you see them all for the first time together. It was such a good moment. I absolutely love it. Amazing. Number 5 is Spider-Man Far From Home. I really need to say Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, and if you know me, that's enough reason for me to love it. Simple. Number 4 is Captain America Civil War. It is absolutely thrilling. I love it, and the fucking airport fight alone is just absolutely worth it, and it was a really great introduction for Spider-Man, which was great. We've got to number 3 already quite fast, actually. I think I'm just talking quite fast. I need a drink as well. But my third, number 3 is Infinity War. I absolutely loved Infinity War, but it was definitely emotionally horrible in the cinema because we went to the midnight screening of it, and it was just an absolute same time, or the audience just, what the fuck, and then it just finished, and everyone just walked out. And I don't think anybody really knew what to do because it was just like, what's next? I think I saw it a few more times in the cinema. It was just amazing. Such a great film to see with a big audience. Great. Number 2 is Endgame, which is obviously an even better cinematic experience. It was such a great film to see in the cinema, like beyond perfect. Obviously there's going to be some spoilers here. If you haven't seen Endgame, I don't know how you haven't, I think everyone has, but just imagine, we've been waiting since Age of Ultron, when Captain America goes to lift the hammer and it moves, and we're all just, we're still waiting for that moment to come back, and then go to Endgame, and then you've got the big battle going down, Thor goes down, and then you see the hammer lifted up, and Captain America holding it, and I just remember the cinema just exploding, cheering, everyone was having a great time, and I just got goosebumps everywhere. It was such a great moment, and again, I saw that one I think I saw it 4 times in the cinema in total. It was just so fun to watch and see different people's experiences with the film. Absolutely amazing. So that leaves my number 1 choice, which, if you haven't guessed it by now, it's Captain America the Winter Soldier. My personal favourite in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was just such a refreshing change of pace, really, to go from the big action films to a spy espionage thriller, which was so much fun, and it was really quite intense, and it obviously introduced some of my favourite characters, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier, who is my all-time favourite. So that's just my top pick, because I just love watching it. I could rewatch it so many times. It's amazing. Anyway, time for my top 5 moments. So yeah, that brings me to my top 5 moments, and starting at number 5 is the whole airport fight scene from Civil War. I know I already slightly mentioned it, but it was seeing that film in the cinema and seeing all these characters just start to fight was so good. You had like Giant Man, you had Captain America versus Spider-Man, Bucky and Falcon. It was just so much. It was so cool to keep watching it, just keep going and going and going. It was amazing, one of my favourites. Coming in at number 4 is the last 5 minutes of Far From Home, just because we have the reintroduction of J.K. Simmons as JJ, which was amazing. I definitely screamed super loud when that happened. It was so good, and it was Mysterio telling everyone who Peter Spider-Man is, and I thought that was just so. It was just left you like, what? And then obviously we still don't know what's going to happen with that yet, but I loved that amazing scene. Number 3 is Captain America vs. Shield / Hydra in the elevator, Winter Soldier. That fight scene, I used to just watch on YouTube constantly on repeat because I found it amazing. The fight choreography on that bit is so good, and it's the fact that Captain America takes down all these men and then jumps out the window. Love that scene. It's just amazing. Number 2 is one actually no one really mentions. I haven't really seen anything about it, but it's Captain America versus past Captain America in Endgame, when Captain America walks up to the 2012 Avengers Captain America. I love that fight scene. It's just so unexpected. It was absolutely hilarious. The cinema was... everyone was just laughing. It was just so fun. Absolutely loved that scene. It was incredible. Loved it. And then my top pick, it's a bit obvious. It's obviously Captain America lifting Thor's hammer. I know how to say it properly, but if I keep saying Mjolnir throughout the whole video, I'm just going to get sick of saying it. So, Captain America lifting Thor's hammer. As I said, goosebumps everywhere. I saw it like 4 times. I just loved watching it. Used to watch it on YouTube all the time, even when it was like terrible quality, just because people wanted to get it out there. I love it. Absolutely amazing. So, those are my picks, and I'm going to start then talking about the lists I've received, obviously, because I asked a lot of people. So, first is my girlfriend, Ash, and her top 10 films in the whole Marvel Universe are number 10, Winter Soldier. Number 9, Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 8 is Black Panther. Number 7 is Thor Ragnarok. Number 6 is Civil War. Number 5, I have to check my notes just because I've written down so many lists. Number 5 is Ant-Man. Number 4 is Avengers Age of Ultron. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 2 is Endgame, same as me. And then her choice for number 1 was Infinity War, which is understandable. I absolutely loved Infinity War. It's always like a bit of a toss-up between both of them, but I think they kind of go together, really. And then her top 5 scenes in the MCU were really interesting, actually, because at number 5 we have a fight scene. We have a small scene from Thor: The Dark World, and I can't believe she actually wrote this down. I have to say it in the video, but there's a tiny scene where Thor's hammer goes past one of the side characters, Darcy, and she looks at it and says, "Mew Mew," and that was in Ash's top 5. You know, no Captain America lifting the hammer, but Mew Mew. Anyway, on to number 4, which is Scarlet Witch versus Thanos in Endgame, and she's written on my notes because I have to have them in front of me because there's so much nasty. So that's that, really. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the intro, really, with Baby Groot dancing to the song. Was it I think it's Mr. Blue Sky, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I remember us watching that together, and she was glued to that scene. It was so funny. Number 2 is Infinity War, when Spider-Man vanishes. Obviously, that was emotionally hard to watch at first, and I remember, as I said, we've just finished our Marvel binge, and she was just sat here just crying, and I was just kind of watching it because obviously I knew it was coming, but she's never seen them, so that was a fun watch. And then in number 1 is again from Guardians 2, which is funny, 2 Guardians 2 clips, and it's where Groot is trying to find Yondu's fin, and he brings back all these random things until he finally gets it. I love that scene as well, but yeah, that's her top 5. Again, can't believe there's a Thor: The Dark World scene in there, but each their own, really. I'm not going to judge. Moving on. The next list comes from my brother Rich, and his top 10 films are... Drop the camera. Anyway, top 10 from my brother, so I have to check my notes again, but it's number 10 is Thor Ragnarok, number 9 is Black Panther, number 8 is Guardians of the Galaxy, Number 7 is Civil War. Number 6 is Age of Ultron. Number 5 is Ant-Man. Number 4 is Doctor Strange. Number 3 is Infinity War. Number 2 is Endgame. And number 1 is Winter Soldier. So pretty much the same 3 as top 3 that I had. And then his top 5 scenes are, number 5 is Bucky catching the shield from Winter Soldier, which I agree, amazing scene. Number 4 is Hulk v Hulkbuster from Age of Ultron, which is a nice new one for us. That's a good one. I do like that fight scene, even if Age of Ultron isn't my favourite, but that's fair. Number 3 is I Am Iron Man from Endgame, which you can't say you didn't cry at in the cinema. I know I did. Number 2 is Captain America lifts Thor's hammer, Endgame. Don't have to go back into that, but yeah, of course. And number 1 is Doctor Strange, seeing like the power and like the universe and stuff for the first time. It's actually a really good show as well, because the effects on that scene are absolutely amazing. Rewatching Doctor Strange lately, I'll be realising how good the effects are in that one. So those were good choices. Nice to see some new ones, and I really enjoyed to talk about the new ones. And then on to my friend Mike Murphy, and then his picks for the top 10 films are: number 10 is Captain Marvel, which we haven't seen yet on the lists. Number 9 is Iron Man 2, again, haven't seen that one yet. Captain America First Avenger comes in at 8, and then number 7 is Ant-Man. Number 6 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 5 is Civil War. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern here. Number 4 is Infinity War. Number 3 is Ragnarok, quite high up. Number 2 is Endgame. Number 1, Winter Soldier. Again, apparently we all just love Winter Soldier. It's taken the top spot 3 times. I can see why though, it's amazing. And then Mike's top 5 moments in the universe are the opening to Winter Soldier, where Captain America takes down everyone on the boat. I love that scene, awesome. It's a great opening to the film. Number 4 is Thor... Number 4 is Thor versus Hela in the end of Ragnarok. Number 3 is the airport fight from Civil War. It's good to see someone else including that. Number 2 is Thor v Hulk from Ragnarok, which is a good one that no one's mentioned yet either. And then number 1 is Captain America lifting Thor's hammer again. I told you this scene's just going to keep coming up with everyone. It's absolutely amazing though, so I can see why, to be fair. Moving on to the next one, which is my good friend Ben Warman. His top 10 films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are: number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 9, Doctor Strange. Number 8, Civil War. Number 7, Winter Soldier. That is surprisingly low down all of a sudden. Number 6, Black Panther. Number 5, Endgame. Number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Number 3 is Infinity War. Apparently Infinity War's just 3 on everyone's list. It's always there. Number 2 is Ragnarok, and then number 1 is Iron Man, which is really nice to see Iron Man in there. But Ragnarok seems to be on everyone's lists of films and moments, so apparently Ragnarok's really popular with the people I know. And his top 5 moments are... Please don't do that! His top 5 moments are Captain America lifting the hammer, Iron Man coming from the cave in Iron Man 1, so like the first scene we see of actual Iron Man, which is a great scene. Spider-Man's intro in Civil War. Louise telling the story in Ant-Man, which is a really good shout, because all the scenes they do of those are absolutely hilarious. And then Stan Lee reading the Mallrats script from Captain Marvel, which is actually a really cool one. I haven't seen anyone mention that yet either, so that's cool. And nice little different changes in there as well, which is always good to see. On to another friend of mine, which is Jimmy Picton, and his top 10 list starts with Ant-Man. Goes into Captain Marvel, number 8 is Black Panther, number 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which has come up a lot of times as well, because I know that film didn't do so well with critics, but audience seemed to absolutely love it. That's cool. Number 6 is Doctor Strange, number 5 is Civil War, number 4 is Age of Ultron, number 3 is Endgame, number 2 is Winter Soldier, and number 1 is Ragnarok. So Ragnarok's just climbing up those lists. And then his top 5 scenes are, and I had to read the notes on this one because I absolutely died of what he typed, so I put it as Hulk versus Loki in the Avengers, and he said to me as, Hulk absolutely rags Loki, and I think I'd laugh for 10 minutes straight, so thanks for that, mate. Number 4 is Thor v Hela Ragnarok, and number 3 is the I'm With You Till the End of the Line from Winter Soldier, crying. Number 2 is I Am Iron Man from Endgame, second time on, and then number 1 is a new one, which is Wakanda Forever from Black Panther. Absolutely love that, that's cool. Onto my another friend, Jack Owens, and his top 10 starts with Black Panther. And Black Panther has been on almost everyone's lists, but mine, and I feel awful, but it just didn't make mine. Number 9 is Iron Man 2, number 8 is Ragnarok, number 7 Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, again, number 6 is Iron Man, number 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy 1, number 4 is Civil War, number 3 is Doctor Strange, number 2 is Infinity War, and number 1 is Endgame. Classic. Top 5 scenes in the entire Marvel Universe are: number 5 is Captain America moves Mjolnir from Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron. Number 4 is Captain America lifts Mjolnir from Endgame. Classic. Number 3 is the Iron Man 2, like, briefcase suit-up moment versus Ivan Vanko, which is, yeah, absolutely amazing. Love that scene. Not a massive fan of Iron Man 2 myself, but absolutely love that scene. And then it's a brilliant one he's mentioned here is Captain America holding that helicopter, which I think is Civil War, and he's pulling it in, and that biceps just up, and it's like a character on its own. Absolutely love that one. And then his number 1 scene is the portals from Endgame, which is nice to see, not just the hammer but the portals as well, because that was another bit that absolutely gave me chills, I know that. So some different choices in there. Absolutely love that one as well. Now we're on to the last 2 people, and then one only supplied a top 10 films and one only supplied a top 5 moments, so we'll just kind of do them like that. So my friend Alex Hart, he gave the top 10, and at number 10 for him was Avengers Assemble, which is a great choice. It hasn't really come up too much, but I love it. Number 9 is Iron Man 3, which is the first appearance of that on this, so that's a nice change like that. Number 8, Spider-Man Homecoming. I think that's the first one for Homecoming as well, which is interesting. I prefer Far From Home, but Homecoming is great. Number 7 is Ant-Man. Number 6 is Far From Home. Number 5, Infinity War. Number 4 is Winter Soldier. Number 3 is Endgame. Number 2 is Ragnarok. Number 1 is Iron Man. Those are really nice choices as well. Nice to see Iron Man 3 and Homecoming on the list, because those are great and they shouldn't really be left out. I love them. And then to finish it off is my best friend, is Neve, and she has sent me her top 5 moments of the MCU, and starting at number 5 is the opening from Age of Ultron, where you get that like kind of scene of them all jumping in to fight. That was a great scene as well. I love that. Number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy 1, where they all kind of hold hands to harness the power of the stone, which is a great, I love that. It's a really nice moment more than anything. Number 3 is Captain America's speech in Endgame, which is great. I absolutely love that as well. Number 2 is the elevator fight from Winter Soldier. Glad someone else included it because it's amazing. Number 1 is Captain America's Worthy. Obviously, Wheels Mjolnir. We all love that. I think that was on everyone's list. You know what I mean? Absolutely amazing. So that's everyone's, you know, opinions and different things. It's nice to see who felt what about different films and different moments. It's nice to see films like Iron Man 2 come in, and then Black Panther was on everyone's list, apart from mine. Apparently I don't like it. I do like it, but it just didn't crack top 10 for me. But it's nice to see everyone putting different films in. But the only film that never got mentioned was Ant-Man and the Wasp. I can kind of see why. It's pointless, but fun, you know what I mean? But anyway, I know it's been quite a long video, so I really do thank you for watching it and hopefully enjoying it. I know I don't talk too clear a lot of the time, but I don't know, it just doesn't happen so easily. But anyway, if you did like the video, just give it a like, share it around with your friends if you want. Follow the page, you can follow me on Instagram at Romero's Movie Corner as well. And if you ever really want to, you can check out our Patreon. I don't expect anyone to donate straight away, but it's an option if you'd like to, which would be a really nice help, and you know, it's absolutely amazing. I couldn't thank you enough. Anyway, if you want to look at the Patreon, I'll post the link with the video, and then thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll make another one soon, and give me some suggestions on what we should do. Thank you very much.